Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Woo! It's good to be with you. Well, here we are. It's Saturday, and that means time for our Saturday Night Seance. That's right. But before we get into all that, got to give a big shout out and say thank you to all of you who came out to yesterday's video. We had a wonderful time. It was UFO Friday. And we talked all about the appearance of aliens in India. And if you didn't see that, you need to check that out. Very powerful, very mystical stuff. Okay, so definitely check that out. That's in the queue right before this one if you haven't seen it. Well, here we are. It's Saturday Night Seance. That's right. We have a lot of new people here. So for those of you who are new here, we do this every Saturday. We gather and we have a little seance. And this comes out of the spiritualist church tradition. And what we used to do when I was in the spiritualist church is we'd gather at a medium's home, sit in a little circle. Medium would go into trance, and we'd have a wonderful time talking with the spirit world. I'm a trance channel, and what that means is that spirits overshadow my consciousness during trance, and they come through me. They take control of my body and vocal cords. This is different than possession. I know some people have written me and said, oh my God, Bob, are you getting possessed? No. Trance channeling is a partnership. I allow the spirits to use my physical being to manifest. It's not at all scary. It doesn't hurt. It's very peaceful. And I get as much knowledge out of it as you do, because when I go back and watch the tapes, I'm like, wow. So you see, I get blessed by this experience, and hopefully it's a blessing for all of you. So anyways, here we are. Why don't you pull up your chairs here? Let's form a circle. If you were literally in my house, I'd have you right here around my chair. But wherever you are, pull your chair up, and you're here with us in spirit. So I'm going to go into trance. So I'll see you when I get back. Oh, this is Fletcher here. So good to be back with all of you. Well, we're getting control of the medium's vibration here. And then we'll be letting some people come through and have a little chit-chat with you. So good to see all of you tonight. This is Fletcher. I'll be stepping out of the way and working on stabilizing the frequency for those who want to come through. Many souls find themselves in the place of darkness after death. It is the work of the spirit world that helps aid in saving these souls who find themselves lost and wandering. In the spirit world, one can achieve any level that one wishes to attain, provided that one has the sufficient vibration. This is why we always caution that those of you upon the earth must spend extra time developing your abilities. You must work on learning to attune to our world. You must learn on raising your own vibration. Remember that each of you are beings of light, and inside of you is a wonderful soul, an eternal self, a self that lives forever. And if you let that eternal self move and direct your life, you will be in a better place of comfort, peace, and direction. Please understand that when you are in the physical body, your senses are somewhat clouded by the physical realm. The material world is a realm of vibration that is lower than the spiritual realm. And if you become too attuned to the material realm, you will forget who you truly are. This is what happened to me. Even though I was well aware that there was a spirit world, I abandoned my original view and thought only of the material world. You see, there are many souls who leave the earth and are trapped in this material world, and when they find that the body no longer serves them, where are they to go? They find themselves lost. If you seek only the material world, upon death your vibration is that of the material world. Or though you will leave the body, you will be at the lowest level of the astral realm, which interconnects with the material. It is the realm of darkness. This is where I found myself. So such as that we helped in the previous weeks. Udo, Fletcher and Rose assisted that young soul Adam who was lost in a cave. He has crossed over into the light because he hadn't come to understand the reality of the spirit world. He had to be awakened to his condition. The problem is many people are not aware that they are a soul, and so they awaken to find themselves dead and yet refuse to believe it. We have many souls over here who argue and scream and preach and rant. Some of them are the most religious of fanatics. They think that upon their death they will be greeted by golden streets of gold. When they find that their vibration is somewhat less than they had thought of themselves, when they are not as, shall we say, exalted, they find themselves in a different place. For some people it takes a while to see divinity, for their senses are not prepared to step directly into the light. For those who do not enter the light immediately, it is a time of growth, a place of waiting. It is not purgatory, but it is a time of awakening, gradual awakening. In that realm there are souls who will gather and help the soul to awaken. There are many souls who, as I spoke of earlier, are fanatical. They believe that they have the only truth. Usually we let them wander around in this realm until they settle down. Many of them are quite belligerent and agitated, for they demand to see God, and they say that they are not in the right place. Some even have the fear that they are in hell. But then they do not understand that, for they are not in flames. The realm that they usually attain is one of a pasture-like setting, green fields, beautiful flowers, a place of rest, a calm, a place where they can reflect. But if they have not spent their earthly life practicing reflection, this is even difficult for them. This is why we always caution that it is important that you try to seek to develop your mind and your senses, those of the body, mind, and spirit in unison, for that when you leave the body, you will have command of your faculties and understand things such as focusing the mind and listening to the inner voice. These things can be accomplished while alive. But the fanatical people that we have spoken of spend their entire life seeking outward. Do you know, if you only seek outward, if you seek on pushing your view, preaching and screaming, and never take the time to listen within, you've wasted a great opportunity, and you will not make advancement. That is why these people who are fanatics upon the earth find themselves in a place of struggle in the afterlife. Though most of them are actually very good souls who do have a degree of faith, they have not yet learned to cultivate that faith and to work in harmony with it. If they were to cultivate the faith in their heart and discover that it is based on love and seek to live in harmony and in love with their fellow human, then they would have attained a higher degree and would have seen the light. There was one man who came over to the spirit world recently. He was actually a preacher, and I believe on earth was known as a member of the Baptist sect. In England we had Baptists as well, which is an American faith, so it came later to England, I believe. But you see, this man, he was a preacher in his life, and he spent his entire life saying that everyone was going to hell. He turned many people away in fear, and they lost their faith in God. He preached so much on the darkness and evil that at the end of his life he thought he had done such good, but only to awaken in the darkest realms of the spirit realm. We rescued him and brought him into the light. But even so, he was still not satisfied, for he had decided that unless he could be at the very throne, he must be in hell. You see, it is these people who are so rigid in their beliefs, inflexible. They have the hardest time adapting to our world. You see, in the spirit world, one must have an open mind, for as I have said, there are many levels. Each level of consciousness attains a new level in the spirit world. And as I have said before, one can ascend downward in the spirit world. So those of us in the light can go to the realms of darkness. But those in the realms of darkness cannot ascend into the realms of light until they are prepared, or unless they are directly guided, and therefore then they can come up to the higher realms. And so we encourage each of you, do not hold on to fanaticism. It will not aid you. We see all over the earth those religions who practice extremism. In the Far East, there are those who are destroying life through their suicide missions. This is not in keeping with the way of the Spirit. Those who destroy life and their own life, thinking that it will merit them a high place in heaven, will be greatly disappointed when they come over here. Those who are so enmeshed in materialism as well, who think that they have all the answers through science, they are among those very shocked to discover that there is a soul that is eternal and a realm of life after death. If you keep an open mind and allow yourself to grow and receive new concepts and open your heart to love, and this is the most important part, you must open your heart to love. If you love, you will be loved in turn, and you will generate more light. The more light you generate, the higher your soul goes in the spirit world. This is why God is at the pinnacle of all being. He is love itself, the ultimate love. His light is pure and radiates and fuels all of us here. Some of us are able to look upon him directly, and those of us who are not able to see him directly feel the presence of his vibration and are very blessed by his illumination nonetheless. In time, all souls will come to stand in that light and find the joy that it brings to them. But for those souls, such as our Baptist minister, who is so extreme, we're working with him to help him let go of his agitation. He is still in the fields, wandering around, shaking his head, and not understanding, not comprehending why there are not streets of gold, why he does not hear angels with harps playing. Yes, there are angels and harps and all of this here in the spirit world, but it is specifically for those who just attune to it. This man pushed away the light so far from his life that he is not able to attain that level at this time, and thus creates his confusion. We are working to help him. I have another special soul here who wishes to speak to all of you tonight. Let me step from our medium's body. I don't know how to do this. I've never done this before. I'm kind of scared. Will you help me? What do I do, Fletcher? Am I coming through the medium? This is amazing. I don't believe this is happening. Okay, I'll introduce myself. My name is Adam. I was told that many of you helped me to go over to the light. I died in a cave accident. I didn't know I had died. I hadn't given a lot of thought to that. You know, like life after death. And I don't know. I saw members of my family die tragically, and it made me doubt God. I had a lot of fear about all of that, and I didn't like religion. I found my connection, I guess you would say, to God and nature. And I went caving, and that's where I died. I still don't understand all of this. I just know that I'm over in this place. It's so beautiful here. And people are walking around and speaking to me, and I've even seen my family that died. And as hard as it is for me to understand, they're alive. We're all alive over here. I guess I want to just say thank you. Thank you to all of you who send energy to this medium and to his guides, Fletcher, and that nice lady Rose. They helped me to get over, and wow, I don't know what to say. It's all still new to me, and I'm a little still overwhelmed, but it's beautiful. There really is eternal life, and wow. only I'd understood it a little more, I wouldn't have been so afraid and waited so long. I remember seeing some light after the fall, and I thought somebody was rescuing me, but for some reason, I don't know, I couldn't face the light. I turned from it. I don't know why, but I did. So please know that I'm okay, and I thank you, all of you. I don't have enough strength to keep talking. It takes a lot of energy. Thank you. There we go, my dears. This is Rose. Can you hear me out there? We decided to test that young man, Adam. We thought, oh well, he's done so much already. Maybe we let him try to come through a medium. Because it did very well for this first time. Even Alfred was amazed. You know, Alfred had a difficult time when he first came through. But these younger people have a little more resiliency. And I think we did quite a good job. And our medium was so gracious to let us do that. He has told us that we have his permission to do this. He allows us to bring souls through. And so, from time to time, we'll bring a soul through. Each of you here tonight are very gracious, and we're very proud of all of you. You're very precious. Each of you are attuning your souls to the light. And I can tell you, it will do you well in the long run. You've heard how Alfred and myself, both of us, have turned away from goodness and light. It was the very mercy of heaven that allows us to even come and speak to any of you. And the goodness of our medium here is so gracious to allow us this opportunity to use his vehicle. So, I shan't be taxing his body alone, but I wish to let each of you know that Adam is over in the light and doing very well. Alfred and I are looking after him. And we hope that each of you will continue to send your prayers to that dear young man. He's growing a little bit every day, you see, and awakening. And you know, Alfred's so very true. If you spend your earth life awakening, death will simply be as if walking to another room. Don't believe all that you hear, that there is an angry God just waiting to punish you and throw you into an eternity of hell. It's simply not the way. The spirit world has room for all types of people. All knowledge, and I should say all love, is welcome here. So learn about God however you wish to learn about him. But more impertinent than just the knowledge of the Spirit, learn with your heart, my dears. Learn to love. If you love your neighbor, you'll be doing the will of God. So many of you called upon me, said, Rose, help me. What is the will of God in my life? My dear, God lets you choose your own will. You're not at the whim and control of some master-minded monster. He says, you are my child and I love you. Go into the world and create love. Whatever you do, my dears, do it in love, and then you will be doing God's will. And this is our message to you. Let that light lead you. Let it lead your heart in love. Have no fear of God, and do not turn away from the higher power. You are as much part of it as any of us here. Though you wear a material body, it's only a cloak that shields the true you, the eternal light you. So let that light glow. Let your heart grow in love. And follow your life with joy, not with sorrow, not with antagonism and bitterness. No, let all that go. You know, my mother used to say to me when I was a young girl, she said, Rose, you just have to let go some things in life and move forward. I'm so glad she taught me that. My father used to say it as well. And you see, it did help me get closer to the light. And so you see, over here I've learned so much from that. And I was reminded of the very words upon my arrival here. And as I let go of my animosities and my judgments against others and myself, my heart was free to love. And remember, if you live in love, you live in God. And that will be doing the will of God. So love, and that is the will. And that is the way. Plato says the power is fading, so we'll be stepping from our medium's body. We're so very pleased to be with you. Continue to remember us and call upon us. And you know what, only whisper away, and we will come and help each of you. And I thank you for being here today. My name is Rose. Hey, Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. I tell you, whenever the spirits come through me, it's like light. It's power. It's blessing. It really helps my life. I love to channel, and I hope that tonight's seance was helpful for you. Hey, if you enjoyed tonight's channeling and you'd like to learn more about my work as a psychic and a medium, you might want to pop over to my website and pick up my book, Messages from Rose. You can get that. I'll put the link below at robert-hickman.com. Go to the info box below, click on my web link site, my website link. That'll take you to my website. And up at the top, there's a tab that says books. You can click on it. You know, while you're there, you might want to also look at my other books. This is my other book, OUIJA Mysteries. This is about my work with the Ouija board and doing seance work and rescue work. I think you'll get a lot out of that. And for those of you who practice Wicca or are curious about Wicca, this is my latest book, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. So I have a number of books in print that you can buy. They're published. And you can get those over at my website. I think you'll really enjoy those. So definitely check them out. But if you like tonight's messages from the guides, this book tells about, as I said, my work with my spirit guide, Rose. And I think you'll like this as well. So definitely check them all out. And, you know, while you're there, pick up a book for a friend, okay? Well, you guys are the best. Thanks for being here. I love you guys. You are just rocking. Just want to give a quick update. A lot of you have been trying to reach me for private readings. Not to worry. I am getting back to people still. I've had tons of calls. We'll start another round of readings. I'm pretty full up till Tuesday. So Tuesday, I'm going to be taking in some more clients and through the following week. So definitely reach out to me. You can write to me if you want to get on my schedule at my email at readings@robert-hickman.com. I'll put that in the link below. So send me an email. Please, in your email, if you can, include a phone number. It's easier for me to get back to you if I can just pick up the phone and call you rather than have to write a big, long letter. So send me an email. Tell me you want to get a private reading. And then, I will contact you. But please put your phone number in that email as well, okay? You can also call my office at 571-483-2112. And that's another way if you want to get a hold of me. You can connect there as well. So we'll get you guys on schedule. Listen, thank you for being here. I love you guys. You are the best. And welcome to our newbies. You guys rock. Thank you to all the old-time, long-time people. You guys rock too. And I hope you'll keep it here at Spiritual. Tomorrow is Sunday. That's the day of the sun. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We'll have something cool, though. So just be back here tomorrow. We'll see you then. Until then, may you always... Oh, I forgot. Hit subscribe. Be part of our channel. All right, guys. Well, as I like to say, until we see you next time, may you always blessed be.